And one more time, go for sh.st. Got it. Go.
Alright, it's me, Waffles, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to dock. Now, this tutorial is for docking in space over Kerbal, but it pretty much applies to any other kind of docking, as long as it's in space. Alright, so as you see, we have a ship here and a ship here. They're both identical and they both have docking ports. So the first thing you're going to need is that you're going to have one ship already launched and the other one not in orbit yet but currently being launched. Both of them need to be able to be piloted and controlled, have RCS and SAS, and have enough electricity to keep running if they're a probe, because we're going to need to control them from both ends. So what we need to do is set left click on it and click set as target, and then we're going to add a maneuver at our avalanche. Now we want our orbit to be slightly larger than our orbit that we are parallel with. So we want to be parallel with the target's orbit, but we want ours to be slightly smaller. This way it can gain on us, because it's a lot easier to have the target gain on you than you gain on the target, and I'll explain why later in the video. So let's just line it up. And now we need to fast forward so we can make the burn. Alright, now I recommend quick saving at this point, because you're going to need to do that a lot. Now as you can see, we're not close to our target, so we're going to need to fast forward so that our target starts gaining on us, and I'll show you when you need to stop once it gets close enough. Oh. Alright, now quick save here, and it's approximately 300,000 meters away. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn back SAS and click target. Now I see this orbit thing right here, click on it twice so that it says target. Make sure that you're pointing at the target node. Now see these things over here, this is where your paths of orbit are going to intersect no matter what. Where you will cross the path of the target, or where you both will be parallel to each other. So right now that's at about 71 kilometers, but we want to make that about 10. So we'll fire up our engines and they should begin to move. Alright, so 1.9 is the closest we're going to get. Now you want to click there and add maneuver. You're not going to do anything with that maneuver. It's just going to be a little timer. So you're going to want to fast forward until maybe you'll have 30 seconds left on the T-minus clock, and then burn towards the retrograde until the target meters per second goes to 0. That's your relative velocity. That's how fast you are going between each vehicle, like your speed relative to the other vehicle. When it gets down to about 0, stop, and you can exit out the maneuver and quick save there. Now as you can see, it's over there, about 1.9 kilometers away. So we're going to separate, start heading towards it. And as you can see, the prograde is starting to move right on top of the target node. And if the prograde is right on top of the target mode, that means you are directly facing your target. Now we'll burn towards the retrograde again as it gets closer. And make our target relative speed go back to 0 again. 0 means you're not moving in opposite direction. You're both today going in the same direction with the same speed. I think we overshot it a little. Yeah. Alright, now you're not going to want to make these big, huge moves the closer you get to your target. Alright. This might take long, like maybe up to an hour if you're doing it your first time. It's gonna be a long process of going toward your target and going away from it. Remember, to go towards it, you click target. To go away from it, you use retrograde. And remember, if you want to bring both to a relative slow speed, you want to burn towards the retrograde. Now we're not moving away or towards it. We're at a 0 relative speed, which is what you want. Now you're going to need to quick save here because we're going to go to the other ship. So you want to disable RCS to point at the other ship because RCS makes you move a little bit, which will give you relative velocity, which we don't want at the moment. So we're pointing at the other ship right now. We're going to go to the other ship, extend the solar panels. And we're going to set the docking port as a target. And obviously that glitch happened where it doesn't follow any commands I give it, which happens a lot. Usually, if that happens, you just need to quick save it and then revert to it right there. And it should work after that. Yep. And as you can see, we are not moving away towards our target. We are only 40 meters away. So now we need to turn on RCS and go over here to docking. And it should, a linear light should be on. So what you do is, if you still have the default key bindings, you need to press W. And as you can see, the prograde appeared right there because we were both pointing at each other, not going anywhere. So that's like the easiest way to do it because we were really close too. So all we have to do is start drifting towards it really slow. You can fast forward if you want. Maybe press W once in a while to keep your course straight. As you can see, we are coming in very smooth. You don't want to go too fast because if you go too fast, you'll impale the other ship, and we don't want that. Speed that up a little bit. Now, as it gets closer, you might want to use S to start slowing down. And we'll let magnetism take us the rest of the way, because once you get close enough, they'll start to get attracted to each other like that. And then contact. The connection is confirmed, and it should make it so that both of the vessels are recorded as one entity, which makes the camera zoom out like that. Don't worry if you don't get it your first try. It took me a lot of tries my first time. And now you have a docked ship. You can transfer Kerbals if you want. You can transfer fuel, electricity, other things like that. And if you want to undock, you just right click on it and click on dock. And that's how easy it is. So that's it for this tutorial. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.